ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands and keep your chin tucked. It's the one that only goes with the shadow in the front. Is it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? I don't really care if it's on or off. Actually, I kind of do. But this is why I said yesterday, bro. I don't believe really a lot of things that are being said. And you know, Teofimo Lopez is supposed to be scheduled. I'm jumping straight in because this isn't going to be long. This isn't going to be I mean, I always say it's not going to be long, but it's always going to end up being long though. But seriously, this really can't be long. But I'm here to just prove a point because I'm sick and tired of all the games and the shenanigans that are being played back and forth. I'm sick and tired of it, man. To be honest with you. And it's so perfect. Like, first off, to make it clear, I said yesterday, I'm not excited for this fight to begin with, but it's not the point. It's not the point. It's the principality of everything. It's like too many games being played. You can't tell who's telling the truth anymore. You can't tell who's lying anymore. And it's the perfect reason why I don't like promoting certain fights until I actually see press conferences or even if it's on the schedule. I mean, look, let's just make it clear, man. Whatever's going on right now with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, I have to keep it completely 100. I'm never gonna be like just biased on purpose. If I'm biased, I'm gonna tell you why I'm being biased. Like, I blame Teo for this. I do. Now he could be playing games or whatever it is, but let's keep things in perspective right here. I'm gonna go to X in a second, and I'm gonna show you what Oscar De La Hoya has said in regards to this, because I find it interesting. When I said this the other week or whatever, people thought I was playing around. I'm being dead serious, right? The fact of the matter is, I don't think a lot of people want to fight Devin Haney. Okay, and has nothing to do with they're gonna get embarrassed. Has nothing to do that they feel like they're gonna get knocked out. It's got nothing to do with any of that. All right. At the end of the day, I feel like certain people don't want to see certain fights. I still blame Teo too. I still blame Teo because Teo played too much. Teo plays way too much, bro. And just the other day, I saw Teofimo Lopez apologizing for some of his comments that he made, right? And I'm looking at him and I'm looking at his face when he's apologizing. And I'm like, bro, come on, bro, stop. Who are you fooling, Teo? Who are you fooling, bro? Like, he's like a kid sometimes, bro. He's literally like, he's so immature, Teo, bro. Like, I fuck with him in the ring, but he's immature. He's immature. All right. Now, I'm not saying Devin ain't immature. I'm not saying nothing because I don't believe nothing Bill say or Devin say. I damn sure don't believe nothing Teo say. All right. And this is why yesterday, when people were asking me, yo, Shadow, who you going for? Who you going for, Teo? Who you going for, Devin? Who you going? I'm like, bro, first of all, that's a stupid question. That's a stupid question. Who am I going for? Teo or am I going for Devin? That's a stupid question, bro. You know who I'm going for. It don't matter who I think I'm going for. Number one, I don't think it's a good fight. It would have been a good fight years ago, but I don't think it's a good fight now. Y'all can hate me when I say that, bro. You make it seem like I'm not a boxing fan. I am a boxing fan, bro. I'm telling you what I think is good. People want to see this fight for different reasons. Let's make reason A. There's a group of people out there that only want to see this fight because they know how Devin's going to fight. They know how he's going to fight, and they want Teo to lose. And so, therefore, they could care less if the fight is boring. They can care less if the fight is rewatchable. They could care less about any one of these things. They just want to see Teo lose. You know what I mean? Which is fine. That's fine. Because to be honest with you, I want to see Devin lose. So we on the same page here. You know what I mean? There's no difference than a Cowboy and Giants game or whatever. You got rivals, bro. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why I don't want to see this fight. And believe me, it got nothing to do whether I think Teo win or lose. I can give a fuck whether he win or lose or not. I want to see exciting fights. You do know that regardless whether this fight happens or not, it's most likely going to be what? On pay-per-view, right? You think it's going to be free? I mean, I don't like watching all my fights on the Fire Stick. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not this holy person to make it seem like I don't watch fights on Fire Sticks. I do. But I don't like watching it on a Fire Stick. I don't. For numerous reasons, bro. Numerous reasons. Delay, always buffering. Oh, you know, and not only that, but I do want to support boxing. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these dudes that's just gonna put everything on a Fire Stick. You know what I mean? I'm not making it seem like I pay for every pay-per-view. I don't. But I don't, if I can afford it, I'm gonna pay for it. All right. Mostly anytime I watch any fight on a Fire Stick anyway, the playback is horrible. The playback is horrible. I don't know what you guys watch or whatever, but so going back to me buying this fight, bro, I'll be pissed if I pay $80, $90, or whatever the price is gonna be to watch somebody play Tag Your It. And I'm being honest here, bro. It's Tag Your It. Unless it's a fire undercard, right? Styles make fights at the end of the day. Styles make fights, which is why I was calling for a different fight. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not up to me. It's not up to me. But there's a reason why yesterday I was like, bruh, I'm not gonna sit here and start breaking down. First off, there's nothing to break down. There's nothing to break down. You know, if somebody asked me and this no disrespect to the person yesterday that came in my chat. Somebody came in my chat and said, "Hey, Shadow, break down T.O. versus Devin. What is there to break down? What is there to break down? You've seen how Devin fights. You know how T.O. fights. I don't think it's gonna be an exciting fight, whether it happens or not. I think it would have been way better years ago. That's not me hating on anybody. I don't, you know, that's just the truth. I would have rather seen T.O. fight Boots or T.O. fight somebody else. And to be honest, and this is why I get on T.O. because T.O. played too many games, bro. He played too many games. And I'm not gonna sit up here. Yo, do you know how mad I was the other week, bro? I had a video that I had put almost 2.5 hours worth of editing into the video. 2.5 hours. It was a breakdown of Boots versus T.O. There's no point in me putting out that video, right? They ain't never gonna fight. So I don't know, man. Let me go to X real quick and show you what the damn shenanigans and the circus that's been going on. Yo, Oscar De La Hoya funny. Oscar De La Hoya funny. I'm gonna show you what he said to Devin Haney. Devin Haney got kind of mad, but Oscar De La Hoya has his own agendas as well. I wholeheartedly think that Oscar De La Hoya wants to sign Teofimo Lopez. Let's make no mistake about it. These promoters be extra nice with you, knowing that you're gonna be a free agent or whatever the hell it is. Like I mean, I don't trust none of these guys in this business. I don't trust none of these fighters when they say they're gonna do something. That's why I don't believe in none of these Instagram call outs, these dudes that make 30-second videos saying, "Oh, I want to fight this guy." Yeah, bro, I could do that too. I could do that too. Like, what is happening behind the scenes? Is your promoter contacting his promoter? Is there really a fight on the table? You see what happens when there's actually a fight on the table. Look at the shit that's happening. Look at what's happening. I mean, it's crazy as hell. Who's up in here? Bro, this is what, Jonathan, was you here yesterday, bro? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And this is why, yo, and this is why people, like, for anybody that be saying I be D-Rod T.O., bro, come on, bro. I call out all the shenanigans he does, bro. All the shenanigans he does, man. He's a fucking kid sometimes, bro. He act like a kid. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I really don't know what goes on in his head. It's troublesome, bro. Like, it bothers me sometimes. I'm like, who is around him that's like letting him do these things? For instance, man, I feel like once you are famous to a point where your mouth can cost you millions of dollars, somebody needs to tell you to shut the fuck up. For real, for real. If any of y'all ever get to a point where you are a person of status, you need somebody around you, not a dick rider, not a D rider, Not somebody that's gonna sit there and go, facts, fact shadow, fact shadow. Yeah, no. You need somebody by you that's gonna be like, yo, shut your mouth, bro. What are you doing? Because this isn't about freedom of speech or freedom of to do whatever, bro. Your mouth can cost you a lot of money. Your mouth can cost you fights, and then that trickles down to us as fans, bro. That's why I call the bullshit out. I don't just be like, oh, whatever, he could do what he. No, fuck that, bro. I'm sick and tired of 1 week I'm getting Boots, 1 week I'm getting Devin, 1 week I'm getting this. This shit is tiring as a boxing fan, bro. Listen, there's only one life here on planet Earth, man. Like, I believe in God, but the life here is only one. It's only one life, right? So every time I watch a fight, every time I cover a fight, every time I do something, I'm taken away from either being at work, hanging out with somebody, living my life, going out, doing something, right? So this shit takes up time, right? So it's even double worse when, that's why I get so frustrated when I see a lackluster ass fight. I mean, these guys are getting paid a lot, right? There's no reason why you should be running. Why are you running? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But see, look, it doesn't. It doesn't. And in fact, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Sometimes you have to be real with yourself. People could get mad at me for giving my opinion. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think T.O.'s ever gonna be a superstar. I don't. There's plenty of fighters in the past that have done a lot of things, right? That has gotten a lot of accomplishments. They never hit the superstar status, right? Am I right or wrong? There's plenty of fighters that were like, what, 2 division champions, 3 division champions, and I don't think they were on the level of a Floyd or a Manny. Like, that shit is a rarity, bro. That shit is a rarity. So T.O., I don't try to figure T.O. out. I don't. But I'll tell you what. I'm not going to sit here and just keep my mouth closed when I feel like it's bothering me. Because like I said, I'm a boxing fan. I take time out to do videos and do lives. I don't get paid for this shit or nothing like that. But it don't even got to have anything to do with that. You guys are fans too. You guys sit down and you guys watch fights, right? Don't tell me it doesn't bother you when 1 week you hear a fight getting hyped up, and in the back of your mind you're like, yeah, I'm about to start, yeah, we might get this fight, and then you just, Monday come around and it's like, that shit, nah, it ain't gonna happen. You can't tell me that's not annoying. It's annoying. That's why I don't believe half the shit I see. Yesterday, the first thing I did is I went to the schedule and I said, let me go to August 16th real quick. I go to August 16th and I'm like, hold on a second. So Tank is fighting Lamont Roach in a rematch on August 16th, and Canelo is also going to be fighting, I think, the day after. So I'm like, is this going to be on a separate card? Is this going to be on Canelo's undercard? Like, what is it going to be? And I'm not blaming no channels either. Let me make it clear, because they get bamboozled in this shit too. They do. Channels that like interview these fighters, they get bamboozled as well. Do not think for one moment that channels are going out of their way to go T.O. versus Devin only to look ridiculous the day after when the shit is in the, like, you know what I mean? They're not going out of their way to look stupid. This is why I just don't, I really don't promote really nothing until I actually see that is literally on a schedule. There's an actual press conference. I mean, we could talk about it all day, but I already said I don't think T.O. and Devin's gonna happen. I said this even when Bill Haney was on the Boxing Voice, and I think he went over to he went to Coach Malachi. Shout out to Coach Malachi, and they were talking about, he's like, oh, I can't really get into it. The whole time in my mind, I'm like, this fight ain't gonna happen. You want to know why? Because of this shit right here, right now. T.O. could be playing around or whatever. Let me ask you this. Why on earth would T.O. play around and go dictator, right, to the guy that's paying him money? You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you think that's a joke, like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you like what is the mindset behind that, bro? Like, why would you do something like that? I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay. I'm trying to figure myself. I mean, listen, I fucks with Teal, but I already said this kid's a loose cannon, bro. This kid, when he gets close to fight day and shit, he starts turning into a vigilante and all types of shit. He starts saying the most craziest shit. The kid is out there, bro. The kid is out there. I never believe anything he says, and I don't believe anything Bill Haney says either. But it's frustrating. But this is one of those fights. Say what you want. This is one of those fights that I don't care if it happens or not. I don't care if it happens or not. I don't care. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, you don't want to see the fight, Shadow, because Devin will beat Teal. Look, man, I don't give a fuck if Teal lose or not. All right, as long as it's a good fight. I don't think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think anybody who fights Devin Haney for the rest of his career until he proves me wrong is going to be an exciting fight. This isn't about whether I like a style or not, bro. Listen, if you like it, that's fine. I don't have to like it. I watch boxing for a reason. All right? I don't want to watch a non-evasive fight all fucking 12 rounds, bro. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. And no, I don't mean rock 'em sock 'em either. I can't, man. This new generation too, man. A lot of these dudes are like in their early 30s, right? Or near. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking about just fighters in general. Early 30s, acting like 16-year-olds, bro. Between that and the zestiness that I see, dudes walking around with painted nails, walking around with pocketbooks and shit. Man, it's weird to me, man. It's getting too weird for me. Shout out to the Knicks. I knew that. I know their ass was not zesty ass team. What the fuck is going on here? Who Showbiz? I don't really not for nothing. I haven't watched a lot of his stuff for like almost a year now. In fact, I thought he works with the Zone now. He still makes his own videos on his own channel. Why? What'd he say? Oh, yeah. The no running rule with Devin Haney. I actually agree with that. I mean, I actually agree with that. But the problem with something like that is how are you gonna? You can't, bro. You can't, Jonathan. Like, as much as me and you or other people would like that, you kind of can't, because there's no way you can implement a rule like that. There's no way, because what are you gonna do? Stop the fight every 40 seconds and go, oh, one of y'all need to throw a punch? Like, there's no way you could. You see what I'm saying? There's just no way you could implement. How are you gonna implement a no running rule? How? The only thing I said that you can do, this is what I said. I think the best way to get fights more exciting, especially if you think you're going to be fighting a fighter that's not going to engage, the best thing is to hit the pockets, bro. Put it in the contract. Even that's hard, but put it in the contract. Be like, look, man, there has to be a quota met or some shit. I don't know. Somebody has to throw a certain amount of punches. If not, you lose 10% of your purse. Do something. It's a shame we got to even talk about this, bro. It's a shame. It really is. But like I said, this isn't really. I don't think this is Devin's fault. Carl, you know what I mean? I don't think this is Devin's fault. I think this is what I think happened. You want to know what? Like I said, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. This is what I think. I think Tio really wanted to fight Boots, right? It's evident that he did. You go back to the Ring magazine, because Turkey owns Ring magazine. He owns Ring magazine. And he came out with the whole what was it, like, leading up to the May 2nd card, he had yeah, I know you guys have seen it, right? The post that he made, where basically in the post he was talking as if in the post he was talking like as he knew who was going to win the fights, right? He was talking as if he knew Ryan was going to win, Devin was going to win, T.O. was going to win, and Boots was going to win. This is before Boots is Stanionis. This is before the May 2nd card, right? Damn, I got a migraine. He puts out a post, and in the post he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, if the winner of Boots is Stanionis gets the winner of T.O. and Barboza, but he didn't say it like that. He just said T.O.'s going to fight Boots, Haney and Ryan's going to have a part 2, and the winner will get each other, right? And this was before any of these fights happened, right? This is why, like, when I see these other dudes talking about nobody avoided anybody, I find that kind of hard to believe. I mean, we were told for months what was on the plan that Turkey was going to do. Now, as whether you like Turkey or hate Turkey, at the end of the day, if this man is funding all these fights, I'm going to tend to go with him. I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying I'm going to believe what he, like, so for instance, if he says the winner of Crawford and Canelo may fight the winner of David Benavidez and whoever he fights next, right? I'm just giving an example. I'm going to tend to go with Turkey because Turkey is the one actually paying for shit. His words mean more to me than if David Benavidez said it, than if Canelo said it. You see what I'm saying? So this man was saying that that's what he wanted. So we didn't get that. I think that T.O. really wanted to fight Boots. And when he heard he wasn't going to fight Boots and Devin came into the picture, like a smart man, I do think that T.O. don't want to fight Devin, not for the reasons that you think. I said this the day after the day after the Jose Ramirez fight. Go back and look. I literally spent an hour saying, I think Devin Haney is going to have a hard time fighting opponents for the rest of his career. I wasn't the only one that said it. Tim Bradley said it. Antonio Tarver said it. Other fighters said it. I think Sean Porter even said it. Nobody wants to fight fights like that. Nobody does. And y'all could call it hating or whatever. I'm being a realist. Nobody wants to be in a fight like that. Now, if you want to think that that's a great fight or that, fine. Nobody really, you shouldn't want to see that. You should want to see people fight. That's not fighting. You could call it whatever you want. I don't know what to call it. I call it half fighting, halfway being evasive. I don't know. But I said that I feel like Devin's going to have a problem getting opponents, right? Because I think like William Skull. If you were a fighter at 168 and you saw what you had a guy that had a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, you only fight somebody like Canelo Alvarez once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. So you're getting your biggest payday. But imagine if you beat Canelo. Imagine if you beat Canelo. Imagine where that would put you in life. Look at Dimitri. Look at Bivol. He might not have been that known before then, but he was a little bit, he might not be so much known now, but when he beat Canelo, his name got out there. Some casuals started knowing who he was, right? Because he beat Canelo. So you face Canelo and look at what you do for 12 rounds. Would I be jumping out on a limb by saying that I don't think people are going to be too eager to fight William Skull? Imagine if you're a fighter and they come up to you and they say, hey, you're going to be on the undercard of this pay-per-view. And you're like, okay, great. Okay, my time to shine. Okay, who's my opponent? Devin Haney or William Skull? You're going to be like, so I'm going to be chasing this. I'm not, y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm joking. They're going to be like, so I'm going to be chasing this guy for fucking 12 rounds. I wasn't the only one that said that. And this isn't one of those things where I'm like, I'm not the only one that said it. He did it too. I'm being a realist with you. I'm not the only one that said that. There's a lot of people who say, bro, nobody wants to see that. So I think T.O. was put in a position where he's like, damn, I wanted to fight Boots. That now I gotta fight Devin, and he's probably thinking like, because I don't know. All I know is after that he did the whole dictatorship thing. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you talk about the person that's gonna put money in your pocket like that? That's what I'm saying. Like, he makes no sense. I don't believe anything he says. But to be honest with you, whether this fight happens or not, I don't really care. If you guys want to see that fight, nobody, bro. No, okay, you tell me who's gonna fight him. Oh, you know who did say that they'll fight him? Somebody did say they'll fight him. Richardson Hitchens. Yeah. Richardson Hitchens came out and said, after my fight with Kambosos, he actually, I think he said it on a recent interview too. I think he said, if the TO, did he say? I think he said that. First off, let me go to X and show you what they said. Yeah, Richardson Hitchens said, if David and TO doesn't come through, I'll fight. Like, who wants? Come on, Richardson Hitchens. You might as well throw Shakur in there. Okay, yeah, me though. To be honest, I think so too. I do. Which is why that didn't make sense either. Did that make sense to you, by the way? Did that make sense to you? If you're a fighter and you know that you could beat somebody easily, and what was they gonna offer? What was it, 11 million? I think was it Tio that was getting 11 million? I don't know, bro. It's a big bag. It definitely was the most Boots would have ever been offered. I know that for a fact. And you ask yourself, why didn't you take that? Well, so apparently he wants to go undisputed, so he wants to wait for Pacquiao and Barrios and wait for Brian Norman Jr. And this, like, does that even make sense to you? Like, I don't know. This is where my disconnect comes, AJ, because I don't know. I'm not a fighter, but I can tell you this right now. If I was a fighter and I was offered somebody who I thought I can beat easily, and I was offered a good paycheck, you damn right I'm going to take that, bro. Easy day at the office. What did Floyd Mayweather say? Work smarter, not harder, right? That's why that doesn't make any sense to me. And you would think by now somebody would want to fuck Tio up. This is why I believe it's Tio's fault. Because I don't think, one thing I'm going to say about Devin, Devin will fight you. Let me rephrase this. Devin will fight you signing the contract, showing up to the day. Like, he won't duck you. He'll sign the contract. He'll show up that day. He'll be in shape. He'll make weight. I'll give him that. He'll make weight and he'll damn well rehydrate. But then when the bell ring, you see what I'm saying? But up to that point, he don't look like the scary type that'll just be like, nah, I ain't gonna fight Tio. Nah, I think he does want to fight Tio. And I think one of the main reasons why he wants to fight Tio is because they had a horrible ass performance. They tried to get the Ryan fight. They should have known after how that night went, they were not going to get the Ryan fight. And that's not just Devin's fault. That's Ryan's fault too. That's Ryan's fault too. Which is why I also think Oscar might be saying the things that he's saying. Let me show you what Oscar is saying. Let me show you. Well, what the Showbiz called what? He called who a duck? What did Showbiz say? Oh, me too, Champy, all day. All day. You know, people look, man, it is what it is. I'm not here to tell people what to like, but I can tell you this. If you're gonna ask me to eat something with no seasoning on it versus eat something with seasoning on it, I'm gonna go with seasoning all day. If you're gonna ask me what type of movie do I want to watch, a slow burn or like an adventure horror thriller, I'm gonna go adventure horror thriller all day. You see what I'm saying? You ask me what type of fight I want to watch, an evasive fight, which some people today will call that the art, or rock'em sock'em, no defense type shit. I don't like that either, though. I think there's a fine middle. You know what I mean? There's a fine middle, because like I mean, even though those are exciting, there's really no technique in that. When two guys are just brawling, there's really no technique. I mean, it's exciting, right? But if I had to pick, oh yeah, all day, all day. I want to see people get dropped. I want to see people get knocked down. I want to see that. But believe it or not, there are some people out there that will pick that evasive style. Believe it or not. I don't know why, but they will. Hold on. Let me show you here what was said. Look. They've been going back and forth for the past couple of days. This Devin Haney talking to Tio. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, bro. I don't know if y'all can see that, right? Hold on. I'm looking forward to work with a company in the retail industry to launch and expand my Make Boxing Great Again brand and other ideas I'm working on. Devin comes in and goes, just shut the fuck up, Tio. Right? Devin Haney's over here calling Rick Glazier a square. And Oscar says this. Devin Haney is calling Tio a duck. More like Tio is smart to not fight a runner who has less fans than Diddy does. Oscar is damn near Oscar's off the chain, bro. And so Devin says, what is your obsession with me? He says, I wanted to fight at 147. He wanted to fight at 140. We agreed to fight at 145, even though he was willing to fight Boots at 147. So my whole thing is I see. I don't even this here goes once again. I don't even know who to believe in this. I don't even know who to believe in this. I mean, whether you believe Devin or Tio or not, some things don't make sense to me. Like, why would Devin complain about any weight? Period. Seriously. This kid gains like 25 pounds overnight. Like, why would you care? 145, 147. Why would you care? That don't make no sense to me either. We're talking about a kid who really rehydrates a lot, bro. The kid, Devin's kind of big when he rehydrates. Have you ever seen Devin when he rehydrates? Like, this kid went to 140 to fight Regis Prograis and looked huge compared to Prograis, who was in that division for years at that point. So I don't know why Devin would even be complaining about a pound or two. But I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna take Devin's back on this one, because, like I said, I think Tio's mouth gets him in trouble. I think Tio, what is the word for it? I'm not gonna say bipolar. He might have a personality disorder. He might have something. Because this is the things I don't like about Tio. He does these spontaneous things, right? He does these spontaneous things, disrespecting people, saying these crazy things, right? And then it's like behind the scenes, he expects everybody to like understand what he's doing, but yet he doesn't explain himself. You see what I'm saying? But then you get irritated when people don't understand you. Right? Does that even make sense? Like, so if I'm going to do all this crazy shit, but I never explain myself, and then when somebody righteously so judges me, I'm going to be like, yeah, but you don't know me. Like, well, we're going off what you say. We're going off what you do. and you look like a person that's indecisive, bro. And you know what? And I noticed that about T.O. too. Every time something good comes out about T.O., and what I mean by good is like he calls somebody out and that person doesn't fight him, right? Within a week or two later, he does something that's just it's like the kid that fucking you're finally proud of him because he did something well, right? You're like, good God, man, you did good. And the next day, he just messes it all up again. It reminds me of that. But I don't even care about this fight, which is why Tycho, shout out to Tycho, but Tycho, whenever you see this, bro, this is exactly why yesterday I told you this. I said, bro, I don't even care what posters are being made. I don't care who's saying what. I don't believe this fight is going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. And I never believe anything Tiafimo says until I see an actual date. I see an actual press conference, because time and time again, and it ain't just him, it's boxing in general. Time and time again, we see something like this. Somebody goes on X and says, I just got word that T.O. is going to be fighting Devin. This happens all the time. For years now, it's been like this. Somebody like, oh shit, that's my, hold on. That's my camera. That's weird, right? That was weird, wasn't that? Time and time again, we see things like, somebody put on X, oh, I got word these guys are going to fight. Somebody makes a video about it. It hits the right channel, one of these big channels, right? Everybody starts running with it. Only for a day or two later for it to come out and say, now they're not fighting. Or now it's like this. And you know what I really fell for? Who remembers when people thought PBC was going to shut down? Y'all remember that? Everyone thought PBC was going to shut down, and Canelo, we didn't know if Canelo was going to go with PBC or Al Heyman, and people were like, oh, you had Rick Glazier coming out saying they're about to fold, and all these other, you had even some dudes in Top Rank was saying they're about to go out of business, right? And everyone thought, well, where's Canelo going to go? He's not going to go with Bob Arum, so he's got to go to the zone, right? He's got to go back with, is he going to go with Eddie Hearn, or how about maybe he might go back with Oscar? And then all of a sudden, boom, he goes right back to PBC. Business kept on moving on like usual. Yeah, PBC lost their deal with Showtime, but all they did is switch over to Amazon. It ain't nothing really different. To be honest with you, there's no difference between Amazon PBC and Showtime PBC. In fact, I kind of like Amazon PBC better. I'm going to tell you why. Because when we had Showtime PBC, we had 3 or 4 pay-per-views a month at $80 a pop, and the main events were shit like Wilder or like Martin versus fucking like these regular fights that would be on undercards were being the main events for pay-per-views, and we was having like 2 or 3 a month. So that shit adds up. Whereas now they're on Amazon, they got to pay for all their promotion, and that's why they don't fight as much. That's why when you go on the boxing schedule and you look up the boxing schedule, you like, I can show you right now. I can show you right now. There's not many Amazon PBC events. And why PBC lying to us too? Weren't we told that we were going to get like numerous Amazon Prime free boxing events to be put on Amazon Prime? We've only had like 1 or 2, haven't we? We had what? Tim Tszyu versus Bakram, right? We were supposed to have numerous, I'm pretty sure we were supposed to have numerous Amazon Prime free boxing events per year. We don't get none of that. They threw us one or two, but still, it's still better than fucking having 3 or 4 pay-per-views on Showtime at $80 a pop, and the main event is something I would see on an undercard. But yeah, oh my bad, HOD. What's going on, brother? Yeah, look, man, I gotta get my lives in whenever I can get them in. And I mean, bro, my life's been crazy, bro. I've been getting in at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, well, I gotta get a live in. That's why my last couple of lives been crazy, bro. I had one at 3:30 in the morning. I had one at 4:45 in the morning. I had one at 5:45 a.m. Yo, my lives are spontaneous, bro. Don't even try to catch me. You don't know when the fuck I'm going live. Hold on. HOD, what do you feel? Hey. Hold on 1 second. HOD. What you got to say about I can tell you this right now, brother. T.O. is fucking messing this whole shit. I don't care whether I see the fight or not, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. But I can tell you this right now. I don't think that Devin is the one causing all of this, bro. Let me guess what you're gonna say before you even say it. I don't even want to see the screen. I know HLD. This is all part of the play, brother. T.O. is playing everybody right now so he can get his dollars worth amount, right? Is that what you're gonna say? Because, bro, I really don't give a fuck about any of that, bro. I think he don't even know what he doing half the time, HLD. I don't even think T.O. know what he doing half the time. Like, why would you sit there and call him a dictator and then apologize? Like, the fuck is wrong with T.O., bro? He's crazy. The kid is crazy, bro. Hold on 1 second. So let me go back over here. If y'all, oh, this is another thing too. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. I honestly don't even care. I don't even care if I see the fight, honestly. But look at this. In the meantime, is that a pocketbook, bro? Because I mean, this ain't even Devin, bro. Like the other day, I was watching the Knicks game, bro, and tell me why like 80% of the starters came into the ring. I mean, came into the arena with pocketbooks and their nails done. Like this really has become a thing now, bro. This whole walking around that's a purse, bro. That's a purse. Yo, I don't have much time, bro, but if somebody wants to talk real quick about this, bro, maybe HLD, if you want to say something, bro, I'm going to tell you like this, HLD, I really don't even care if I see the fight, but I'm going to tell you this. The only reason why I went live is because I specifically, I'm going to stick by this, bro. I'm going to stick by this. And I'm not saying this because I don't like Devin. Obviously, I criticize TO2. This is the truth, bro. I've been saying this, and I'm going to continue to say it until I'm proven wrong. I think Devin Haney's going to have a hard time finding opponents for the near sea future. Okay? He's going to have a hard time finding opponents for the near sea future. Pudo, you probably mad because he beat your man Barboza. What happened to your man Barboza, by the way? The way Barboza was talking, man, he was talking like he was gonna kill Tio. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Barboza had me fooled, bro. Barboza had me fooled. He was talking that killer shit for real, for real. I was like, yo, Tio might be in some shit. And then after like that fifth round, I'm like, nah, he ain't doing nothing, bro. He just he don't even look like he want to fight either. He another one. The fuck happened to him? Hey, look, that's me. That's me. I've been saying that, bro. It is what it is. And you know what I find kind of funny too, and I feel like this is a problem with our community, bro. It's a problem with our community. I say our community because we all love boxing, right? This is I see you, HOD. Give me 1 second, brother. Hold on before you start talking. This is the issue that I see with our community, bro. Whether you think that you like the fighter or not, I feel like if it pushes boxing further, we should all be on one accord. So if we all have a fight that the public wants to see, for the most part, and a fighter ducks or a fighter does something that you normally would, just criticize the dude, bro. Because I feel like you guys make the fighters look worse than what they are. I saw Greg Hackett, the dude from Philly, try to explain why Boots wasn't taking that fight. And all he really did was make me think Boots, I hate to say it, is pussy. And I don't believe Boots is pussy. But the shit that was coming out of his mouth made me think like none of that makes any sense, bro. Whenever you say this guy's trash and this guy can beat him easily, then why aren't you? I don't understand that. Maybe you can explain. Oh, I already know what you're going to say, HLD. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not a fighter, but I'm going to tell you this right now, bro. If you offer me a fight and I think I could beat somebody and you're offering me a pretty good bag, you got to explain to me why the fuck I'm not taking that fight, bro. Go ahead, HLD. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How we doing, Papa?
I'm doing all right. How's everything with you?
Todo bien, man. Having fun, bro. Cooking a lot of food.
Go ahead, explain to me what's going on. Oh, wait, before you say anything, I just want to make it clear. Look, man, even though I don't want to watch the fight, okay, the reason why I don't want to watch the fight is not because I care about whether Tio wins or loses. I don't want to see a boring fight. I don't want to see somebody get chased around. But even with that being said, though, if Tio is fucking around playing games, bro, like that shit is getting ridiculous at this point, HLD.
One thing at a time. I'll go one by one because you've been out of the loop and I've been buried up to my neck in it.
Okay.
Starting with Greg Hackett, bro. That guy's a fool. I cooked him on Mill City, ran him off the panel with his bullshit. You know, it's
What?
exactly that. Boots is
Greg
a
Hackett?
puss.
The one
Yeah,
from
Greg
Philly?
Hackett.
Yeah.
Boots is a puss. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know, he's Team Boots. That dude.
I know.
You know, he does pad work for him and shit
And
like that.
every time somebody mentions, and I said this yesterday, I know you probably didn't see my live yesterday, but I said this. You know what I noticed, bro? Every time somebody mentions that guy's name, I don't know him. He could be a good guy. I know he's Boots. I know he's from Philly. I know he whatever. Every time somebody even disagrees with him, he starts going on that gangster shit like oh so y'all better let him know, chat. Y'all ain't gotta let me know nothing. You're not gonna do a fucking thing to me, bro. Because this is ridiculous, bro. Why would you
Bro,
even
because he's
say?
a troll.
Now
He doesn't
I'm
have.
just saying. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Anybody who gets real emotional because you disagree over boxing to the point where you feel like you want to do something to somebody, like you got your priorities fucked up. You got your priorities fucked up.
Imagine, look, I'm a Teal fan, so imagine for like right now, I started saying, "Oh man, what you got to fight Devin, man? Devin is just gonna run here, dog. He ain't gonna do shit. Bro, Teal smoke his ass. Teal blah blah blah, bro. He's
Mm-hmm.
bro, like, whatever. No, man. Pay Teal his money, agree to his terms, and we'll see that ass whooping. I mean, it is what it is. But you ain't gonna hear that from my mouth. Oh man, It's because he's too skinny or he's too whatever or he got no power. Devin got no power, man. Why you gonna fight him? He ain't got no power. You know what I mean? Like that.
I found that. Oh yeah, you were there.
Yes,
you were there. Oh yeah, because look, I forgot where I was at, bro. But this is, bro. I literally wanted to hop on the panel, but I was out and about. I couldn't believe the words that was coming out of this man's mouth. Right? So I'm sitting up there, and I'm oh yeah, that's where I was. I was getting a pair of shoes, and I'm at the checkout line, and I'm like, because the line was long, and I'm on the phone, and I'm looking, and that's where I think I do remember seeing you. And he was up there talking, and I'm like, I'm a Boots fan, so I'm like, let me hear this. Like, there's gotta fucking be a reason, right? And he got up there and he said, "Man, T.O.'s trash. He ain't gotta fight him." And I'm looking like, yo, is that the best? So that is the reason why. So let me get this straight. That he's trash. He's trash. So that's why you don't want to make like one of the biggest pay, and he be the best on your resume. And not only that, but like in my book,
and he has the advantage.
Right. I was about to say, like, if you were to announce that fight, 99% of the boxing public would be like, that's a mismatch. Boots is going to be the favorite, which is why anything other than let's fight makes no sense to me, bro. It makes
especially when the other two champions are busy.
So somebody was going around saying that it's because he wants to go undisputed. Okay, hey, I get that. Like when they offered him Ortiz, right? When they offered him Ortiz. Okay, I get it, bro. He fights at 147. Virgil Ortiz fights at 154. He wants to unify with Stanionis. You get a pass. That makes sense because you're doing.
I gave him a pass then, right, but now I know that
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's understandable, bro. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you can't blame Turkey for even offering that fight because the week before, when you had a bad performance, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, "Oh, I need to move up to 154."
And it's not only that. It's not only that. Eddie Hearn literally used him, Boots, and paraded him over to Turkey for the partnership, promising, hey, we're going to deliver Boots for you. And so then when the opportunity came, he didn't deliver. He didn't want to fight Ortiz. Now, this is the second time. And he couldn't deliver Boots to Tio when this was promised since January.
Yeah, I kept bringing up the go ahead, keep talking. I think
so that in itself is look, but the strategic shit is that fucking Bill Haney and all you media hoes took it upon themselves because hey, Ryan Garcia's not gonna fight Devin Haney. And nobody, look, you remember last year when there was a purse bid for Haney for his Sandor Martin fight, and it was only for $2 million? Nobody, that's his value, man. Nobody, he was going to get $1.5 million to fight Sandor Martin. And so he decided to get stripped and they gave the belt up, right? Mm-hmm. Because his value is shit. Now, Ryan Garcia's not going to fight him. I don't know if you saw he had surgery too, nasty surgery.
Who did?
But so they have no.
Who had surgery?
Ryan Garcia.
Oh, on what?
On his hand, his right hand, on his wrist, and on the side of his wrist, and on top of his wrist.
On his right hand.
Yeah.
Okay. It hit his left hand, so we good.
So anyway, so they're out of an opponent. Now, we're pushing, right? We want Boots to fight Tio. That's the fight that we've been wanting. And here comes Bill Haney, using all the media, trying to push that the fight. Well, he's had all the media saying, oh, we want Haney. It's the fight that makes sense. What the fuck does it make sense for Tio to fight Haney? There's nothing there for Tio. Haney would be Tio's third, maybe fourth best win once he whoops his ass. So anyway, so after they allowed Boots, all the media they gave Boots a pass for ducking. So then what ended up happening with Tio, and I told him he's wrong, was his outburst. What happened was that Boots officially turned down the fight. So that was announced. He officially turned down Tio, and then the Turkey then offered Tio Haney. Now Tio signed a 3-fight deal,
Mhm.
and he was to be making upwards of $11 million versus Boots. So Tio's like, yeah, I'll fight. Okay, well, hey, Boots is turning you down. You want to fight? You want to fight Haney? Yes, I'll fight him. Tio's thinking, okay, I'm getting $11 million. That's what I signed for
Right, the $11 million that was originally going to be offered with Boots, right?
with Boots. So Tio's
Right.
like, shit, no. So Tio was agreeing when they send the contract, bro, massive pay cut.
Now, hold on, HOD. Before we get to that, because it's important, because I've been talking about this for the past couple of lives, right? Because Tio had made it clear that he was offered 11 million to fight, because I saw Tio talking in a couple of interviews. So he said, yeah, he was offered 11 million to fight Boots. And then he said that when Devin came along, in his mind, he's like, I'm gonna get 11 million, right? But then no, it's Devin, so it's different. But I said this, I don't blame Turkey for not wanting to pay 11 million after it, like you said it out your own mouth, brother. You said, just like me and other people, like, bro, it's the principality of the thing. It's the principality of paying somebody and they show up to the fight and they act like they don't want to fight. Even though I felt like Devin was doing that to be extra safe to get the Ryan fight, it doesn't matter. It's the principality of it, because it makes it look bad. It makes boxing look bad.
Well, no, then who's supposed to get the pay cut?
Devin.
Right, not Tio. Hey, I signed a 3-fight deal with you, bro. You promised me this amount of money for the Barboza fight. I carried the promotion. I delivered on fight night. I made the event more attractive for everybody to want to come see. Now, Eddie Hearn and Turkey did not deliver Boots.
There's something I really want to say too, which is like, I don't care who it is, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I don't care whether I'm cool with you, whether I'm not cool with you. If there are certain people I'm gonna believe more than another person. So if there are two fighters about to fight and you got one guy paying for everything, I'm tend to believe him more. So this is why when people bring up Boots and everything, let's not forget that Turkey. When did Turkey buy that Ring magazine? When did he buy that?
2023, I think it was.
Okay, 2023. Because I remember when he
bought 2023, beginning of 24.
Okay, yeah, because when he bought the Ring magazine, they made it clear right away he owns Ring magazine. So basically, when you see Ring magazine talking, you're technically seeing Turkey talking in a way. In a way, you could go as far.
They will voice his
opinion or whatever, right?
Right.
So you go back. This is before that fight, even the May 2nd card had even happened. It was like, oh wait, I'm sorry, that was the second time. This is the first time. And you could tell it's Ring magazine. It's got the check mark on there, okay, with meaning that it's verified. Turk Al-Sheikh has declared that he wants to make Tio versus Boots in October on the same card as the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch. This is obviously before the May 2nd card, because he's obviously thinking Ryan's gonna win, Devin's gonna, right? But we all know how it turned out. So then it doesn't turn out like that. So then now you got Jerron in his boots, and Tio was in talks for a potential fight, right? But my whole point is, I'm gonna believe the Turk, bro. So when people say like, how can you say Boots duck? Okay, so who the fuck am I supposed to believe? I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not gonna believe Tio either, bro. I'm not, because Tio says one thing one day and says another thing another day, HOD. So I gotta keep it a buck. Like, I don't believe everything Tio says, bro. And not only that, but Tio has a habit of saying one thing and then doing the very next thing the very next day, bro. So I'm gonna go with the guy that's paying everybody. So
that's all you got to go by. That's all you can go by.
Okay, so if I go by what Turkey says, right? You're telling me that Tio doesn't want to take the fight because he's not going to get paid the same to fight Boots, and you're saying they should take that out of Devin's pay cut?
You damn right. That's not Teal's problem. Teal signed a 3-fight. What you're not getting?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm playing devil's advocate right here.
But let me explain it.
Hold on. Wait. Before you say, I know you're going to explain. I'm just letting you know. If I go up to you, HOD, and I say you're going to be fighting this guy, and I'm going to pay you $11 million. Okay.
No, that's not what the contract is.
Let me say what I'm going to say first, HOD. Don't start this shit. It's too early.
No, but it's not the contract though.
Okay.
That's how it works.
I'm saying Tio. I heard Tio out his own mouth. Say he was offered $11 million to fight Boots.
Well, that's the expectation of the second fight. See, when you sign a fight deal, you cannot put a name on the contract because you can't guarantee that.
So you see where I'm going with it. Okay.
Right. So what I'm saying is that I signed with you a deal. You got the Cubs hat, and you tell me, yo, HLD, you're gonna be the shortstop for the Chicago Cubs for the next 3 years. And for the first year, I'm going to pay you this. For the second year, I'm going to pay you this amount. And the third year, you're going to pay this amount. All right? For the first year, I expect you to make it to the playoffs. We're going to make it to the playoffs. By the second year, I expect you to be facing the St. Louis Cardinals for the pennant. And for the third year, I expect you to be in the World Series versus the Yankees. But regardless of our 3-year deal is 1 year this amount, second year this amount, third is that amount. I cannot guarantee you who you're gonna play against. I can only guarantee you how much I'm gonna pay you to play.
Yeah, but even with that being said, like I don't blame Turkey, bro.
No, I don't blame Turkey, but we have a deal. It's the contract is signed. This is what you already signed for to pay me. You can't take it back.
Yeah, but hold on a second though. Like you got to put it into perspective because it's like I see so often, and even I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this too. I look at it like this: like Turk has so much money, it's so easy for somebody on the outside to go, man, it's just, but still, like you said, it's the principle of the thing, right? It's the principle of the thing.
That's what you're saying. This is principle. We signed a deal.
Okay. So, but still at the same time, that May 2nd card was horrible. It was an embarrassment. It was so bad. No, it was. Look, when you take Tio's performance, which was the best performance, and that wasn't even really an exciting fight. Let's keep it a buck there. Yes, Tio may have put on a boxing clinic to Barboza, right? But it's still, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't sitting here re-watching Tio versus Barboza all day.
Oh, I saw it like 4 times looking at a whole bunch of shit.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
But I'm joking when I'm saying
right.
But Tio was the second best fight of the entire 3-day weekend. Yes or no?
Yeah, he was. This is my point though. They said that the Turk, they were talking about all the permits he had to get for New York City. Everything that because when you really think about it, for you to shut down
that costed him like $50 million.
It's a lot of money.
I'm not saying that.
Right. So what I'm saying is I don't blame him for saying, yo, look, yeah, I was gonna pay you $11 million to fight Boots, but this is Devin Haney, bro. And I gotta go off the way Devin Haney fought his last fight. He fought like he was fucking terrified, bro.
Like 2 fights. He got his ass smashed and then he ran like a bitch.
So I don't blame. I wouldn't expect Turkey to pay him the same to fight.
But here's a caveat. That goes to what you're saying. Tio's not playing hardball to his $11 million. Tio's willing to play ball. He understands. But they gave him a take it or leave it fucking deal with a massive pay cut. And that's where Tio lashed out with the dictator.
That was just ridiculous, though.
But understand why he can't. I'm not saying he was right. I told him he was wrong.
Yeah, you know what? Tio's wrong a lot of the times. He needs to learn.
Okay, but that's not a lot of times. No, I'm talking about here. Tio was wrong for the way he handled that because that's not the way you handle business. You got to be stoic. You got to improvise. You got to look for a different way how to do things and execute. But that shit that he did was childish. And I promise you, it took a team to to because his ego and pride too. Before he understood that he had to apologize, but his reason for being pissed off is valid because how are you gonna give me a take it or leave it deal? Like I'm a fucking nothing, bro. No, she was like, "Yo, man, we could play ball, but we're not gonna fuck me over."
But I look, I'm not the Turk, bro, but I can tell you this right now. If he's offering T.O. less to fight Devin, he's definitely offering Devin less, bro, after his performance. So
it has nothing to do with it.
It does. It has a lot to do with it.
Not with T.O. Not with T.O. T.O. just wants what's fair for him.
Okay,
that's it.
So according to this, did he agree to the fight?
He agreed to the fight with his thinking of his pay. Once they brought in the pay, he said, "Fuck you."
As of last night, they said
that's cap too. You've been out of the loop. Boxing scene.
Bro, I've been following it for the past 3 days.
Boxing scene.
I've been looking at X for the past 3 days.
Let me get you on board here, bro. Boxing scene ran the same report that Dan Rafael did last week. That Haney agreed, but Teal didn't. And then he did it. The boxing scene. I can't finish, my man.
I already saw the interview. But you said yourself you don't even believe Dan Rafael. You called him a fat fuck like 30 times last year.
But that's not. But you're not. Let me finish to my point. Boxing scene, who's been banned by Turkey from their events, is the one who's now breaking the news about this. Not Ring Magazine, not Mike Coppinger, not Dougie Fisher, not Turkey himself, but boxing scene. That's because the boxing scene is a Bill Haney hoe. And they're just trying to push the pressure on Teal. Oh, he agreed and he did it. Yeah, Teal never agreed. Teal never agreed to the money that was being paid. They ran it again to put the pressure on T.O. And for all we know, Turkey hasn't even forgiven T.O. yet. We haven't heard a word from that man. This is all Bill Haney trying to take the shine because he's desperate for a paycheck because where they're going to get the next paycheck from? From where?
I mean, hey, I've been saying, hey, I'm going to stay on that.
Oh, you said that earlier.
Yeah. No. I'm saying I agree with you because put it like this. Let's put yourself in the Haney shoes. Like I saw, and this is why, like, I don't really dislike Bill Haney because I think Bill Haney is much bullshit as he gets.
I do, as far as business wise of the boxing, how he plays it out, but I respect it.
Look, all I'm saying is like, most of the time when Bill Haney talks, like it's a bunch of bull crap, but at the end of the day, like he does put a lot of work in to try to fool the public and do all types of shit. But I will say this though. Last week I saw him when he was on this is why I kind of felt like the fight. I still feel like the fight isn't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because normally Bill Haney has no problem speaking about what goes on in the background. In fact, I feel like that's a
he lies too much behind the background, bro.
Regardless of what it is, there are certain things that you shouldn't talk about, right? However, there in the past, I've seen this man talk about things that I felt like if I was doing business with him, I wouldn't want him putting that out there, but he puts it out there anyway, right?
He pushes the envelope, like saying that Turkey offered Tio a fight with Devin Haney. Remember? That was cat. He was lying on behalf of Turkey's name.
I also remember when he kept pushing the envelope with Bernard Hopkins, and Bernard Hopkins got mad to the point when Bernard Hopkins saw him, he wanted to fight him, literally put hands on him. So Bill Haney, but the thing is, the reason why I felt like this fight isn't going to happen is because I saw Bill Haney talking on whose channel was it? I think I want to say it was Coach Malachi. This was like a week or so ago or whatever, and they brought up T.O., right? And it was so crazy because when he talked to him about anything else Bill was going into the details heavily. However, when it came to Teofimo Lopez, every time he popped up, he was like, "Well, I can only talk about certain things."
Exactly. You smell the
Right?
bullshit.
Right. So when I'm hearing this, I'm like, but when I'm hearing him do that, I'm like, wait, that's some bullshit. Wait, you got no problem talking about what the what like he was talking about like he was talking like the intricates of what went on with Jose Ramirez and the Garcia and I'm like shit that you normally probably wouldn't say. He also was talking about like stuff that I feel like you should be talking about, especially if you don't know where your next fight is. And then he started talking about Teofimo Lopez as if they had the fight, but then I think
They never did, bro. Teal never agreed.
when he was asked about it, he was very vague, and I'm like, nah, it's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit.
Because they're forcing it.
It sounds like they're trying to secure a Teal fight or make the public think that he doesn't. But either way, it don't matter because I don't really care if I see the fight or not.
But this is the problem that I got.
I already know how the fight's gonna go. I'm not trying to sit here.
Yeah, we know that. But let's get to this minutia. Look, Boxing Scene did this 2 nights ago. And I called Lance Quagmire Cap. I called him Cap.
Who?
Lance Quagmire, the Boxing Scene guy who said that the fight was agreed upon.
Okay.
I called it Cap that same night. You could go to my Twitter. You'll see it on my thing. It's Cap. Teal never agreed to this fight, but they're trying to make it like, oh, Teal agreed, and now that Teal pulled out, oh, and then they're trying to use a narrative. Oh, Teal was offered $11 million for the Haney. Like, bro, But then all these content creators.
No. I don't, because I saw him say out like. Well, he said out his own mouth that he was offered $11 million for boots. That's what exactly he said. Exactly.
Now, all these content creators, bro, all of them ran with the story that the fight was agreed upon. Even the ones that we know very well, Shadow, ran with this bullshit narrative, and now they're trying to push it that Tio agreed to the money, to this and that he pulled out. That after he agreed to it, now they're trying to say that this week, 2 days ago, now he agreed to everything. And then he decided no, which is cat. All these content creators, bro, I have such a disdain for them right now, bro. I mean, all of them. Because they're fucking selling their soul.
It's not surprising, man. It's not surprising.
Bro, I'm telling you, everyone. And it trips me out. It trips me out. Because I don't have a problem saying Teal is wrong with his outburst. 100% wrong. And not only on that, on the other shit too. Like, bro, chill.
You know what? I think I've told you this before. Teal reminds me of the typical person where you're like, "Hey, man, don't touch that," and he's like, "What, this?" And he starts. He's
an asshole. Like what Teal does, he's not racist.
He's one of those people. And but I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Like that's bad for you know what I mean. Like I feel like when you get to a certain point, HLD, and I think you do agree because I think we talked about this before. When you get to a certain status where your actions can cost you a lot of money, like you gotta think a little bit smarter, bro. You gotta relax.
Yeah, no doubt. But the thing is that you and I cannot wear his shoes because you and I have experience in real life. This guy, and all athletes, especially athletes of individual sports, not team sports, individual sports, they're introverted, they're lonely, they're raised only in the sport, they don't even go to fucking school. So they lack a lot of awareness and a lot of other shit that you and I get to learn with the bumps and bruises along the way through life. You don't have that experience, bro. You have 5 times the experience of life. You have probably 5 times the life experience that Teal doesn't have. And you've gained wisdom through that. Teal hasn't had those bumps and bruises, bro. He's still with his parents and everything is, bro, you're almost 30 years old, bro, and you're still hanging out with, on the everyday basis, bro. Like, where's your independence of becoming your own man? I'm not saying you don't share your moments with your family and shit like that. But bro, there comes a point in time where you gotta fucking spread your wings and fly. Even the animal kingdom, bro, the parents keep the kids out.
This is why, like, I feel like social media, bro. Look, I agree with you with the content creators, because this is why, to be honest with you, this is why this year alone I've actually started calling a lot of these dudes out by name, because it's like, yo, number one, like, I feel like a lot of these dudes do a lot of fake shit. Like, we should all be on one
Bro,
accord.
I don't like the traitor shit, bro. I don't like that traitor shit.
We should all be on one accord as far as like getting good fights. So I understand the whole robbery shit. Like, you like one fighter, I like one fighter, you talk our shit or whatever. But when you start putting propaganda out and lying about the situation, it doesn't help anybody,
bro. They understand because they want to put content creator, not reporting. It's content creating.
Yeah, but you can put truth content. You ain't got to lie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. These motherfuckers don't. And if they're getting paid on the side, maybe by somebody even less. Let me ask you, how many people reported that boxing scene was full of shit? Didn't he say it was signed for it? It was signed and done. How many of these motherfucking content creators?
I don't pay like boxing. There's a couple of them. Boxing 24, boxing.
No, but boxing scene was the exclusive guy on this last report.
No, I'm just saying. There's a couple of them where I'm very wary of them to begin with. Boxing News 24 is one of them.
Did any of these motherfuckers say, "Yo, man, boxing scene is full of shit. I got played. My bad." No, they ran on some the night that I did do it, the next day, yesterday, and probably still today, running on that bullshit that you agreed.
Well, this is why I don't actually, until I see a fight scheduled or a press conference, I really don't even start breaking down.
No, but I mean, he agreed to the money, that he agreed to the terms.
But hold on, but to be fair though, HLD, there's been times where Tio has like said himself things that turned out not being true. You know what I mean? So it's like, just saying what he's going to do next, or he's gonna do something and he doesn't end up doing it. I'm not saying it's okay. Like, let me see.
I can agree that Tio says a lot of stupid shit that I don't agree with.
I remember when he said they were gonna fight Richardson Hitchens.
And if Richard Hitchens was his team, Keith Conley, the same management team, and Eddie Hearn fighter, they didn't want to put Tio in there on the Times Square card. I mean, Richard Hitchison on the Times Square card.
Is that was for the Times Square card?
Yeah. Tio was supposed to fight Richard Hitchison.
Yeah, because I remember he said he wanted to fight Richardson Hitchens.
But then what? They didn't want it because Eddie Hearn knows he's going to lose that belt. So what? We're going to rather fight Kambosos, which in part is a good deal. Like, if I'm your manager, right, and I got two of these fighters, well, then why would I put them to fight against each other, man? I can make money with Kambosos, and I can make money with Tio.
Hold on. Did Kambosos just start fighting at 140?
Yeah. He's getting a title shot.
I mean, bro, I'll never talk about a fighter, bro, but talk about a one-hit wonder, bro. I mean,
well, there you go. But hey, I don't blame Kambosos.
What was the last time Kambosos won a fight?
When he beat Tio.
Nah, he won one more.
No, they were gifts, bro. Even last his lost fight, bro. I mean, like, ugly. He lost to Maxie Hughes, and he lost to that other Australian kid who was kicking his ass.
The Maxie Hughes, right? He got that decision, but it was still yeah.
Bro, Maxie Hughes whooped his ass, and this young kid in Australia whooped his ass. But hey, credit to Kambosos, bro. He has maximized the most out of one win. I'm not going to say that. He's a shitty fighter.
It's almost like how Vanilla Ice took his one single.
Hey, baby.
Was able to maximize that
shit. You got to, baby.
Hey, listen. He took the Vanilla Ice single.
Oh, no. It needs to be studied. Kambosos needs to be studied.
He did the Ninja Turtle movies. He turned that shit into like a show. I mean, yo, man.
Yo, he has a reality show now where he's flipping houses.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, for credit to that, it doesn't take away. He's still a shitty fighter. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at this, bro. So he beats Teofimo Lopez, loses to Devin Haney twice. We all saw he lost that Maxie Hughes fight, bro. He lost to Lomachenko, and then his last fight against, I didn't even see that last fight. Did he win that fight decisively or no?
No, man. That's what I'm saying. That Australian, it was a local Australian kid who put hands and feet on him, bro. A young kid, bro. I mean, young kid. And he whooped his ass, bro. I was like, damn.
Now he's gonna be fighting Richardson Hitchens, right?
Yeah, bro.
Hell no, bro. Hell no.
But if I'm the manager, right? I'm Keith Connolly. I'm the manager of Tio and Richard Hitchison, and I'm like, well, I can make money with Hitchison fighting Cambosos and Tio fighting Barboza. Why would I put both those guys who's gonna cancel each other out? I could keep 2 belts under my management while making money. Remember when Ramirez and Barboza was under Rick Majorian, and for years he never had them fight against each other because that's how they. It's no different than a promoter. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not gonna waste their own 2 fighters for someone else. Keep it in house, and that's what Keith Connolly did. It's smart business. I'm not gonna. It's smart business, but yeah, he was supposed to fight Richard Hitchison.
So let me say this though. Do you think that I don't care if the fight happens? Like, I'm gonna say this, like, regardless whether Devin fights Tio or not, I am under. Oh yeah, did you see what Devin put on X in regards to the? Did you hear what he said right here? Hold on, let me read this to you.
No, I've seen everything that I could because he's got me blocked, but people posting and shit, and I could read it.
Let me read something to you. Okay, Devin Haney says, here's what he says. I'm gonna just read a couple of quotes. Right, he says, "The fight with Tio is not signed." Okay, so that's that.
Oh yeah, I read that one. But go ahead.
Is not signed. I signed my part. Tio has been stalling. As of today, he has decided he doesn't want to fight me. He's officially the biggest duck. But I guess what Devin probably didn't put in there is the reason why he didn't sign is because they're not paying him the same amount as they would have paid him to fight Boots. Since he's paying me and I'm gonna run like a little bitch, they want to pay him less. So he's probably trying to. That's what he really should be telling the truth on. Because when you hear that, you think, because first of all, listen, bro, this ain't about whether you like Devin Haney or not. Let's make one thing clear. You got to be out of your mind, bro, to think this man was ready 1 second to fight Boots and then hears Devin's name and is like, oh shit, now I'm terrified. No, there's obviously a money issue. Because it's like, bro, like Boots, like, to me, I'm gonna be worried about not getting outpointed. Like, if a person's gonna knock me out or can knock me out, that's a lot scarier than fucking being outpointed every round, bro. So, like, nobody really, like, if you actually believe that he's scared of Devin, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. But really, that's what's going on, is that he was offered $11 million to fight Boots, and he's probably wanting the same. But then again, I don't blame Turkey for not wanting. Like, why would you pay him the same amount to fight Boots than to fight Devin after what Devin did? I wouldn't either. So.
Yeah, the thing is that here's the other part about the terms. You got now. Tio's not saying you got to pay me the same as Boots, even though he's pissed about it because that contractually you should. Now, the terms. Tio's willing to move up to 147 to fight Boots because of what?
Oh yeah. Oh. I'm glad you said that. I don't mean to cut you off. I forgot to read the second part and then I want you to explain because I was going to bring it up anyway. And since you're already talking,
you're going to throw me off, man.
No, hold on. No. Just keep that thought. I forgot to read the second part. The second part was, so let me read it in full. The fight with Tio is not signed. I signed my part and Tio has been stalling. as of today, he has decided he doesn't want to fight me. He's officially the biggest duck. And I wanted to fight at 147, and he wants to fight at 140, but we negotiated at 145, even though he was willing to meet Boots at 147. Now go.
All right. Now, Teal was willing to move up to 147 to fight Boots because of what?
Say that again?
Teal was willing to move up to 147 to fight Boots because of what?
Oh, because he wanted to be 3-division, lineal, whatever. Yeah, because he's
All
got a
right.
belt.
So that's that. And the pay. Let's not get it wrong. You got $11 million on the table, too. Now, but yeah. Teal's legacy. He wants both. He wants legacy and pay. And he was getting both.
Right.
Teal was happy as a motherfucker going into this fight, right? We never seen Teal so happy doing this Ring Magazine shit. We never seen Teal so happy in his life because he's like, man, I'm getting paid. I don't give a fuck. I'm happy as can be. Now, for the Devin Haney fight, the terms are Devin Haney wants to make this fight at 145.
Right. And yo, I don't know when you got here, but that also sounded weird to me because it's like you're this does anybody who knows Devin Haney, bro. Anybody who knows Devin Haney knows this, bro. You're telling me that you are you wanted to fight at 140, but now you agreed to go to 145. So Devin, you're complaining about more weight, being able to come in heavier. That sounds very shady to me, bro.
Bro, Teal, this is where Teal's at. Look, I'm willing to go up to fight Boots for legacy. I want to be 3-division and 3 times lineal. And granted, what is there for me to fight Devin Haney at 145? What is there for me? If Teal beats Devin Haney,
why don't Turkey put it like this? Why don't Turkey say, okay, fine, you know what? I'll give you more money if you fight him at 147. Y'all fight at 147. You was gonna fight Boots at 147 anyway. There's another reason why Devin is contradicting himself, because Bill put out the so-called hit list on fucking social media, and the so-called hit list had Boots on there. It had Brian Norman Jr. on there. It had Brian Norman Jr. on there.
What number were they?
Huh?
What number were they?
I don't all I know is these guys were 147, bro.
So Teal's like, no, man. I'm the A side. I'm the 140-pound lineal champion. You want to fight me? Teal's not asking for the Devin fight. It's Devin asking for the Teal fight. You come fight me at one.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, see, there's a difference. Teal's willing to do probably some concessions versus Boots. Boots is the A side. He's the champion at 147. Teal's not the guy who got smashed by Ryan Garcia. Teal's not the one who ran like a bitch in the last fight, stinking up all New York City and Jersey across the river. So Teal's like, no, you want to fight me? These are my concessions, pay-wise, and you're gonna fight me at 140 for my WBO Super and lineal belt. That's Teal's concession. Simple as that. Teal has nothing to gain in fighting Devin. Devin would be Teal's maybe 4th or 3rd best win on his resume. Just think of that. Now, if Devin beats Teal,
Loma, Josh Taylor. Yeah, he probably would be 3rd, right?
3rd, maybe 4th, because Teal beat I say he'd be 4th because Teal beat number 3 would be Comey, who was a champion.
Yeah, I was gonna say Comey, IBF, Richard Comey, right?
He was a champion. Devin Haney's not a champion.
And you know, let's not forget that Teal had a couple undefeated so-called guys that were undefeated that were they got somewhat names now, right? Wait, did he fight Jermaine Ortiz before he lost to Loma or after?
No, he fought him after.
Right? He did fight Sandor Martin when he was undefeated, right?
Yeah.
He fought Nakatani when he was undefeated, right?
Yeah, and Barboza.
And Barboza when he was undefeated, right? So Teo's got some undefeated dudes on there too. Um,
So
Devin,
if Devin beats Tio, Tio would be his number one.
besides Loma, Devin beat who? Cambosis twice. JoJo. Hold up. Nah, bro. We gotta give him. Yeah, we gotta give him justice, bro. Linares, fucking
Gamboa. Don't forget about Gamboa.
Gamboa. When he was like 50 years old. Gamboa.
Fresh of getting knocked out from Tank with one leg.
Right. He knocked the one dude out. What was his name? His last name.
I think it was. That was 6 years ago.
Yeah. That was like what? 2005 or some shit. Yeah. Nah, I mean, he's got some wins on there. The best one was probably I'm not even joking. This is a facts, bro. Like the best win is Cambosis, who's known for beating Tio when Tio was half dead. And then
so if Devin wants to beat Tio would become his number one.
Right. Because I don't think he beat Loma.
No, nobody does.
I don't think Devin beat Loma.
Nobody does. But even if they say he beat an old Loma.
Right. He didn't even beat the prime Loma. Yeah.
Right. So Tio would be his number one, but Devin would be Tio's fourth best win. You see what I mean? So what does Tio have to gain in this? You're giving me a pay cut?
Okay, what about this? Is the fight supposed to be in Saudi?
Also, the fight is supposed to be in Saudi.
Okay, so what about this? What if Tio is thinking in his mind? Because look, bro, like I said, whether you like Tio or you hate Tio, I think people aren't dumb. Like you cannot sit here and I mean you could if you want, but I'm gonna question the way you look at boxing. The man was really supposed to fight Boots, right? Turkey's on record. Ring Magazine is on record numerous times saying that the Boots fight was apparent. That is what they wanted. 2 separate occasions and 2 different times. And Ring Magazine's owned by Turkey, right? So to think that he's willing to jump in there and fight Boots to become a 3-division lineal champion, right? But then now all of a sudden is scared to fight Devin. You got to be a little bit retarded. But I do think that maybe Tio might think of it like this, like, all right, well, I'm going to Saudi, right? And what if they rob me? Because I know Devin gonna run all day. And so if I'm gonna get paid correctly, like, because I don't blame him, because like I said, bro, I really do believe many people don't want to fight Devin, not because of like they're gonna get outclassed. It's like Skull. I don't think, bro, like that shit was Skull. It kind of like disgusted me, man. Like you only get to fight Canelo. Luckily, if you're a fighter and you get to fight Canelo, that's like a dream matchup. Not only are you getting the biggest payday, but you're a champion. And if you beat Canelo, your whole life changes, bro. So you would think you would be willing to die in there. I mean, that's one thing I give Berlanga. Berlanga at least fought the motherfucker, right? You get in there and you run. And it's like nobody's gonna want to fight you after that, bro. Nobody's gonna want to try to chase you around. And people like when I say that, they think I hate Devin or something. I'm not, bro. I'm not the only one saying that, bro. You got legends out there saying, "Yo, Devin's gonna have a hard time finding opponents because people don't want to chase a motherfucker around the ring all day." And that's not art, bro. It's not. So it's like, but at the end of the day, people need to be honest about like if Bill is lying and about this other shit, like over here making it seem like Tio is not signing the fight because he's scared of Devin. Nobody believes you, Devin. Maybe the people that like you or don't like Tio believes that, but at the end of the day, the truth is he was offered 11 million to fight Boots, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was expecting. I don't blame Turkey for not wanting to pay 11 millions to fight Devin Haney after Devin Haney ran for his dear life. But should Tio suffer for that too? Because Tio did what he was supposed to do on May 2nd. So that's how I look at it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's you know, but right now, man, what's got me heated is you know, bro, these content creators, bro, they playing both sides of the field, show one face to one dude while playing the field with the other side pushing that narrative and acting like, like you know what I mean, bro.
I know what you mean. But look, like you gotta. Okay, look, I'll say names. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. I expect the boxing boys and people like BTFB to lie.
I expect them.
I expect them to lie. I do because, like I said, like they are so in bed. I hate to say it in a literal terms, bro. They're so in bed with the Haneys. You can't expect nothing less for them to say nothing. You know what I mean? Like you literally like you got BTFB out there saying Devin Haney's the face of boxing. Like you got to really be delusional and really be to actually be out there pumping that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I understand it because that's him, and I understand the boxing voice because I will never expect somebody like Nestor Gibbs to say anything in regards to fucking Bill Haney. You know what I mean? So it's like, there are some content creators that do tell Bill that not everyone just kisses his ass, you know? And like I said, like I don't agree with a lot of things that a lot of content creators say. Like I don't agree with a lot of things sometimes that Coach Malachi says, but he kept it real when he was interviewing Bill. He told him to his face. You know, I respect that. He told him to his face, like, bro, I don't believe you. I don't believe this hit list. And come on, bro, you really think that like you're way better than Floyd? I mean, you're supposed to think you're the best fighter in the world, but it was just at least
The thing with this motherfucker, this Coach Malachi clown.
Don't do that because I don't got no issues with him, bro.
What is me? It's my words.
Issue.
It's my words. HLD saying it.
Okay, go ahead.
He plays a softball game with try to act like he knows how to play it off. Like I'm trying to be unbiased, but I'm just gonna hit you, with some softballs. I'm not hitting you with a league ball.
It's a lot better than what fucking Nestor Gibbs does.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Nestor
better.
Gibbs won't even fucking he won't even fucking get credit. Like first off, I would never expect someone like BTFB to say anything negative about fucking. That's different. But fucking the boxing voice. You want to know why the issue I have with them? The issue I have with them is this, bro. I have respect for that channel in a sense that a lot of casuals watch that channel. And let's be fair, like nobody goes on ESPN to look at boxing, bro. Nobody. Okay. They're going to go to a YouTube channel. They're going to go to somebody like Showbiz. They're going to go to somebody like the Boxing Voice or somebody that's got over 100,000 subscribers. That is what a casual is going to do in the year 2025. You can't even depend on somebody like ESPN to fucking even because they're so flat out biased when they even call fights. It's crazy. I got to watch the shit with the volume off. But when you have a big channel and you are interviewing fighters, even if you like a fighter, I get it, bro. But you got casuals watching you. And when you lie to the public, people start really thinking that's what it is. That's the issue I have. See, like I sometimes go at Tio on purpose, and that's wrong for me. I sometimes go at Tio on purpose to prove to people, look, I'm not a dick rider, bro. Like I don't like the shit that he's doing. But when I think about it, sometimes I'm too hard on Tio. But like I'm doing that to show everybody, like, bro, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'll criticize anybody, bro. I'll criticize my own family, bro, if I feel like it's right. But then I see what some of these guys do, and I'm like, what? Why do I even do it? Well, I mean, these guys won't even dare do it. And when you lie to the casuals and you like, I feel like that pisses me off because you got people really thinking like that's what it is. And then, like you said, then you got a group of people that play both sides, you know, but it is what it is. Like people see it. I mean, but going back to that, he did tell Bill to his face, bro. He like from the interview that I saw, I don't know about any other interview. The interview I saw, he was telling him to his face, bro. He said your list that you put out is cap. He said it right to his face like 3 times, bro.
Well, 3 of them are 135 pounders.
He called out. He put Boots on there. He put fucking I think it was Brian Norman Jr. on there. Of course, Tio was on there. What was Connor Ben on there? I don't even know if Connor Ben was on there. He just weird ass names that you know. I mean, first off, you got to look at it like this. Like I don't think a lot of people want to fight Devin Haney, bro. I keep saying that, and the reason why I bring up William Skull is because it's the only person that I could bring up that's like a close example to that.
Bro, nobody.
Why would you want to? If you are trying to put on a show for the people, for the fans, right? See, like this, for instance, Caleb Plant is a defensive fighter. You saw he got beat up by AC Slater from Saved by the Bell this past weekend, right? But at least like Caleb Plant, when he's not when he's being extra defensive, a lot of it has to do with his stamina. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he can't come forward. He can't, you know what I mean? Because he fades as the fight goes on. But when you're purposely like that from round one all the way to the end, bro, I just think it's bad for boxing, bro. I just think it's bad for boxing. And don't expect people to jump out and want to fight you on these big pay-per-view fight cards when fans want an exciting fight. And I feel like some fights are a lose-lose. Like Tio fighting Devin, I'm going to keep it a buck. This has nothing to do with me liking Tio. I'm going to say it with most of the people. It's a lose-lose situation, bro. It's a lose-lose situation. Because you already know how he's going to fight Tio. If he fought Jose Ramirez like that, you know damn well he's going to fight Tio like that, bro. So it's not, to me, to me, the promotion is going to be exciting, bro. Yeah, the promotion with the fathers don't like each other, but that's about it. I would have rather seen Tio fight a fucking Bigger Boots. Yeah. So yeah, it's a mismatch. I could see it being a mismatch. I still would rather see that than see Devin do what he's gonna do with Tio. He's gonna do it with anybody he fights, bro. And then you got Richardson Hitchens coming out. Richardson Hitchens came out and said, "Oh, I'll fight Devin." Yeah, bro. We don't want to see that shit either. That shit'll be just as bad.
Yeah. It's bad, bro. It's bad, but the number all these content creators and media and full-fledged media members. Look, Tio for the full-fledged, especially these white boys who are just like, I don't know, so far left and shit that they're so sensitive and shit. I mean, these motherfuckers, they dislike Tio. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They've been disliking Tio for his brashness since day one.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Just to respond to this, you know what I said? Because you know how they said Showbiz said the whole no running thing, I
signed the petition, bro. We're gonna submit that to ABC.
I don't think you can't even implement something like that because
yes, you can.
Hold on, I got a better idea because I feel like to implement a no running rule, you're going to impede on people stylistically.
No, you gotta listen to first.
I've talked about this.
But did you listen to Showbiz's point?
No, I didn't. To be honest with you, I don't really watch Showbiz that much, bro.
No, but I'm saying for his petition, he's explaining it how it would be. It's no different.
How it would be. How it would be.
Yeah. He explains it.
I put it
what he's proposing.
Because look, the issue that I see is this: some fighters like Loma or other fighters, they even tank like some of these guys, and Canelo too, for somewhat, like some of these guys take a couple rounds to kind of like see your patterns and shit. You know what I mean? And even though they don't really have issues, I've never seen a ref tell Tank, yo, throw punches. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving an example. I feel like a better way to implement something like that would be during the contract, would basically to put in the contract that a certain status need a certain quota or a certain expectation needs to be met during the fight, and if not, it'll come out of your purse. And I think
but you can't mitigate that.
Well, how are you going to mitigate a fucking no running rule?
Easy.
Go ahead.
Easy. MMA has that rule already. MMA has a no timid avoiding. Bro, you don't let me finish.
That's at the discretion of the ref.
Right, it is discretion of the ref. That's all the rules are at the discretion of the ref. Didn't Tank take a knee and it was the discretion of the ref. It was a knock.
Yeah, but the problem with that HOD is, all right, let's go back to the Ryan Garcia fight. Is it under your impression that ref was kind of going for Devin, yes or no?
We know that, but if we have no rule, we can't even bark.
Yeah, but that would be their way of getting around that. They would just get a
There is
ref.
no perfection, but at least we can call it out. Yo, you didn't take a point away for that. That's violation of the rule. You didn't even warn them for holding. You didn't even warn them for low blow. But if there's no rule, if there's no like rules for like a low blow, how can you warn a fighter? You have to at least have a rule.
I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this: the day that they implement some fucking no run shit will be the day that you'll see the Haneys will just find a ref that fucking favors them. That's all, like they did Ryan.
No, I mean, but we need to at least have the rule.
Okay, well,
And that's why MMA has it. I think it's rule number 19.
something has to be done. Something has
just
to be done.
when you're
Because when fucking what's his name was fighting Canelo, I think it's sad, bro. It's sad. You got a ref that sat there because I had to listen to it a second time. He sat there and told that man to fight, bro. He told a ref got mad jobs in the ring, bro. He's got to worry about cuts. He's got to worry about following the rules. He's got to worry about neutral corners, the mouthpiece staying in. He's got to worry about a whole bunch of shit, taking points, rabbit punches. He's got to make sure everything's fair, right? Down the middle. He's got to make sure the cornermen are doing what they're doing. The right people are in the corner, all types of shit. The last thing the ref should be doing is telling a fighter, you need to throw punches, bro. Like, that's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing.
The damn, I lost my what it basically says is if you're avoiding engagement, like we saw with William Skull, like we seen with Rigondeaux, like we saw with Devin Haney, there will be a warning. Yeah, the name is provocative, the no running rule, and maybe that's what throws a lot of people off. But it should be the timidity rule. I think that's what it's called in MMA. When you're avoiding engagement, like Jermaine Ortiz did, when you're avoiding engagement, you will be warned.
I think Skull was worse than Devin, though.
Yeah, but they're both on the same shit.
Why? No, Skull, because Skull, I hate to say it, but what Skull did was way worse than Devin, because
I get it, but
Skull had
same shit.
It was the same shit, but different to me, because he's fighting Canelo and he could have became undisputed. What the fuck does Devin would have got for beating Ramirez for taking chances? You fucking take chances to fight Canelo. That's like, you know what I mean?
I think it's worse for Devin because Ramirez was there to be killed and he ran like a bitch. Canelo's a killer.
Yeah, but that's the part of
who can knock you out.
That's the part of being a fighter, though, bro. Oh, but look, bro, you are already champion at 168, bro. That's a one in a lifetime fucking chance fighting Canelo. So you're already getting a big payday. But if you beat Canelo, your whole life changes, bro. I don't know, bro. I think it was worse. It don't matter. They were both bad, bro.
They were both bad, but one was cherry picked specifically for you to slaughter, and you ran like a bitch.
Yeah, because I even thought Devin was gonna knock out Ramirez. I even said that.
Bro, forget about the predictions. Just what I saw that night. Ramirez was there to be slaughtered, and he didn't do it.
He was extra slow too, by the way.
Bro, super. Like, bro, like I hope you don't have some upstairs damage, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is? Nah. You know what it is? We were talking about the fight before it happened. Ramirez needs to set his feet to throw punches. And so Devin was smart. He had that game plan locked down before this man was even to set his feet and to even gather punches, because he's not a one-punch knockout puncher. He's a put-him-together type of puncher. He's a pressure fighter. So he's got to set his feet. Before he even set his feet, Devin was to the left or to the right, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. The only thing is, Devin, he didn't throw anything back. He didn't throw anything back. I mean, from round one, you had Antonio Tarver like, what's wrong with his feet? Oh, man, Antonio Tarver was making me laugh, bro. But anyway, bro, look, I got to get out of here, man.
Hey, man, absolutely, bro.
Before I get out of here, do you think it'll happen? I don't, to be honest with you, I hope it doesn't happen.
Well, here I didn't get to this last part.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes because I've been saying Turkey's been trying to get Canelo to fight, trying to move that fight and Crawford fight to Saudi Arabia. That's what's happening behind the scenes. And Canelo's putting his foot down. No, this fight is in Vegas.
Does that sound weird to you?
Yeah, but
It
this
sounds
is
like some fuckery going on, right?
there's a lot of fuckery going on.
If I was Canelo, I would not go to Saudi, bro.
No, he came out just a few days ago. He said no.
This man has came out on numerous occasions and said Bud Crawford is my favorite fighter. So now you're gonna go to Saudi. I'm saying if you were to go to Saudi, there's no the rules is they're in their country. They make up any. You can't sue them. You can't do anything, bro.
Well, but this is what's happening behind the scenes. Turkey thinks he's slick. Turkey, bro, I bought tickets because I thought actually it was going to be Tio and Boots on the undercard of Crawford and Canelo.
Right.
Now, Turkey was slick. He booked his venue on a Friday at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. And Canelo, hold on. What the fuck you mean on a Friday? Because it was supposed to be Dana White TKO promoting this card. The thing is that Dana White has a Noche de Mexico or UFC card in Mexico on that Saturday.
They just canceled that today.
What they canceled?
Because I watch these UFC channels. As of yesterday, let me see if I can find it right here. Let me show it to you. So this is why I say something's going on, HOD. Something weird is going on. So look, let me show you this real quick.
Noche de Mexico?
Yeah.
I didn't hear none of that, bro.
Yeah,
that was big news.
Let me show you.
All right. So while you're looking for that, so Dana White is supposed to be promoting that Noche de Mexico UFC card in Mexico on September 13th. So that's why they announced the Canelo Crawford fight on a Friday. Well, it's just impossible for Dana White to do both promotions. So then they removed TKO, Dana White, and then they put this Silas for Riyadh Season as the promoter, meaning they're trying to get this fight in Saudi Arabia.
Let me show you just real quick before I forget. I follow certain UFC channels like how you do probably, right? There's one guy I follow.
Ariel,
I'm gonna share the screen. Hold on. This guy, he's biased with certain fighters, but however, he's good at breaking news, is what I can tell you.
Oh, it's been moved to San Antonio, Texas.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to show you right here. I saw this yesterday on midnight right here. This guy right here, his name is MMA Joey. So he's a little biased because I say he's biased because he likes a lot of the European fighters. However, when it comes to breaking UFC news, this kid is usually on point, bro. And he found this out when he was in the Bahamas on vacation. He was one of the first ones to break the news.
Okay.
So he broke it, and that's what I'm saying. I saw it yesterday. So whenever you get a chance, just subscribe to him. But it's still on September 13th. And that Dana White's promoting this. I think something weird's going on.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Now,
go.
So Dana White is TKO, who's supposed to be doing the first Ring Magazine card or TKO event for the Canelo Crawford. Turkey came out. Oh, the promotional people is going to be Silas for Riyadh Season now, and not Dana White. Mm-hmm. But then and then it moved to September 13th. Mm-hmm. But it can't be at Allegiant Stadium because Allegiant Stadium has a UNLV televised college game that day. So that's why they haven't not made this official yet, because they've been trying to move this card to Saudi Arabia.
Well, okay. Well, here goes something that is weird to me, because if you notice the fights that Turkey wants to move to Saudi Arabia are now people are gonna say, well, he's got interest in all these fights. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like this. He funds some of these fights, but I think some of them he personally has interest in. Like, he personally has interest in Bud Crawford. Personally. And I've showed people the interview where Bud Crawford said that the Turk reached out to him back when he fought Amir Khan, bro. When he fought Amir Khan, Turk was he was in boxing, but not doing what he's doing now.
he's personally invested in Bud Crawford, and asking that fight to be moved to Saudi, where you're under the protection of, because he's already said that Bud is his favorite. So it's like, if that fight is even close somewhat and goes to a decision, somebody could get robbed. And that's all I'm saying about Tio. Like, how is Turkey's relationship with Devin? Because obviously it ain't good.
He's Muslim.
Tio.
That's all you need to know.
All right, you're Muslim, right? Because Tio's over there. Tio already made the whole dictator.
Christ is king. So who do you think he's gonna go for?
Right. So having that fight over in Saudi, we were talking about it here yesterday. There were people in my chat like, yo, Shadow, Tio going to Saudi to fight Devin, knowing how he's gonna fight, they're gonna rob Tio. And I'm like, well, I don't care whether it's here or in Saudi. I feel like Devin's gonna do the same thing, whether he fights him in Japan, Saudi, America.
And he won't be ashamed to be running around like a bitch try to get it.
That's why I'm very upfront when it comes to Devin, bro. I'm not excited to watch this motherfucker fight because he doesn't have no shame in his game, bro. At least Shakur Stevenson, bro. At least Shakur Stevenson, when he was gonna fight Kid Austin, and Kid Austin got taken off the table, and they put the electrician in, even with a bad fucking hand, because I remember you were telling me at the time his hands were all fucked up, and remember we saw the fight. We were like, yo, if that was Kid Austin, he might have beat Shakur, right? Even with bad fucking hands, he knew. I can't go the distance with a fucking electrician on 24-hour notice. I gotta stop him. And he did. You think Devin would have stopped? Devin wouldn't have cared less. He wouldn't have cared. Devin would have been like, I got my W and that's it. You know, I don't fuck y'all. And I went out and bought a purse the next day and put it up on X and say he better than Floyd. That's how he fucking moves. And I don't like it. As a boxing fan, I don't like it, bro. I don't like it when you get in the ring and you're evasive for 12 fucking rounds, and then you got a group of people fucking protecting you, making it seem like that's an art, disrespecting Pernell, Whitaker, fucking Floyd Mayweather, and all the real defensive greats like James Toney and shit like that, and then fucking turn around, have a group of people protect you, and then go on the next day and buy a fucking purse. I don't like this shit. I don't like it, bro. It is what it is. I don't get excited watching that kid fight. At least at least Shakur fucking went out of his way to stop somebody, because he knew if I don't stop him, I'm a 3-division champion. He's a fucking electrician. So that's why I respect Shakur somewhat, because it's like, if that was Devin would have been like, man, get the fuck out of here. Fuck the fans. That's why I look at the people that be like, come on, bro. If Tio ever did some shit like that, bro, I'm making a live every fucking day for 7 days a week. He ever do some shit like that?
That's you know, I don't mind. Look, now as a fan, right? I would have been happy if Devin would have sparked Ramirez or beat his ass like he did Regis Prograis. Then I'd be happy to want to see this fight more. But you still have to pay the man and agree to Tio's terms. Tio is the A side. Tio has nothing to gain beating Devin Haney but a paycheck.
Yeah, he don't.
He don't have nothing to gain.
Devin don't even got his butt at 140 no more, right?
No. He got stripped. He got stripped because he didn't want to fight Sandor Martin because there was a purse bid and it was only for $2 million. He was only getting 1.5. That's his real value.
So you
want to know how much Devin is worth? That's real life value. Devin Haney's fight was put on the open market for all promoters to bid, and only one promoter bidded, Bob Arum. He bidded 2 point something. Devin would have got 1.5.
Yeah, so you got Puello, you got Antoine Russell, Tio, and Richardson Hitchens, right?
Yeah.
At 140, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tio's got options, bro.
Right. Tio's got options. So I mean, and look, that's like, just to be clear. Yeah, me liking Tio is a little bit having to do, but like I said, I like Tio in the ring. Yes, there a rivalry with Devin, but like, yo, it's not just that, bro. I just want to make it clear, it's not just that, because it's like, just that example alone is all I'm gonna say. Just go back to Shakur, bro. Shakur had a hurt hand. All right, his hands were hurt, like always, but his hands was hurt. He was gonna fight Kid Austin, bro. And then at the last moment, they throw in an electrician. He knew I gotta stop him, bro. I mean, I'm 3 division champion. Going the more he went with him, bro, and you saw how they were talking when he was fighting the electrician. People were like, "Oh shit!" Like I was even like, "Damn, bro." You know, maybe Kid Austin might have beat him on that day, but at least he knew to stop the kid. I'm telling you, if that was Devin, he would have said, "Forget it. I don't care. I don't need to take chances. It's all about taking a W." And then to make things worse is the next day he would have went and got a pocketbook and tried to shit on Floyd and shit on all these other fighters and make it seem like his defensive way is art. That's why the shit upsets me, bro, because he doesn't even try. The motherfucker don't even try, bro. I get like he tried in the Ryan fight at the beginning. He tried in the Loma fight at the beginning. That Jose Ramirez fight, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all that defending that, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Come on, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they all are on a massive cap, massive cap. You know what I mean? My thing is, put the facts out on the table, bro. Put the facts out on the table. You know, you want to hear that, yo? You know this logic. Oh, you're willing to go fight Boots at 147 in Devin? Because Devin don't bring nothing to the table. Not even a pay.
Yo, and that's another thing too. Like it's like, yo, Boots is bigger, switch stances, got stamina for days, and is the lineal champ at 147. Regardless how we got it, right? He's the lineal champ at 147, right? And it's like you actually got these channels out here. They're gonna push this propaganda, like, look, he's scared to fight Devin, y'all. But they're not gonna tell you everything about like, well, it's you know, when you look at it in the reality of it. Is like he was promised a certain amount to fight Boots, and it's a money thing, which is why like it's kind of crazy. If I would have more respect for them if they came out and just told the truth and just been like, "Yo, look, man, look, this is what's going on." Yes, Theo hasn't signed his part. Yes, it has to do with it got nothing to do with me because when Devin says it, he makes it seem like I understand what you're saying, like because Bill does it too. They put out this fucking propaganda, like people are terrified of them. And it's crazy because it's like 80% of boxing fans know, like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody fucking scared of you, bro. Let's keep it a buck here. The only people that are pushing that are the people that are in bed with you business-wise. They're the only people. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes T.O. was over here trying to fight Boots, right? And then now doesn't want to fight fucking Devin because of he doesn't want to get beat. So you're telling me that he wasn't scared to possibly get knocked out and get his clock clean versus fucking chasing somebody, playing tag your it for 12 rounds. He's scared now? Come on, bro. Let's think about this, bro. And y'all should be mad. Y'all that like Devin and like these other fighters, y'all should be mad at Devin, bro. Because he makes a mockery of the shit. He talks shit about, I'm better than Floyd. I'm better than Sweepy. Okay, I get it. You're supposed to say that you're better. But then you don't even make an attempt when you get in the ring to fucking satisfy the fans. But at least Shakur tried. Shakur had a hurt hand. He had a hurt hand. Even when people walked out of Jersey where Shakur was fighting, I went back. I looked at that fight. He was trying, bro. He was trying. He just don't got.
Yeah.
Remember Showbiz? You showed me the shit too. Showbiz put the grip on him and told him, "Yo, squeeze." And what he had the strength of?
Of a 13-year-old boy. I like to see Devins.
I don't mean to laugh. But look, he got the strength of a 13-year-old boy, according to the grip. But at least he tried. Devin makes no attempt. Devin goes, "This is what I am. It is what it is. I made my money. Fuck everybody else. I'm gonna buy a purse, eat shit. And if you don't fight me, you're ducking me. And I got a couple of channels out there that are gonna push this propaganda to make it look like you're scared of me. Well, just know 80% of us don't believe you, bro. The only people that believe you is the fucking channels that push that shit. And T.O. don't make shit better either.
No, Tio doesn't make it better because of the shit that he says overall, and then those emotions and feelings then bleed into everything else. And that's what happens. Everybody conflates, oh, Tio saying this about, whatever, this and that. And then they take that emotion and that shit, then they put it into when it comes to real stuff that you got to be talking about with facts. And it bleeds into it. Tio doesn't have any of the benefit of the doubt because he's disliked. He's caused that to himself in part,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or he's made it worse because the media was never on his side because he was that one guy who got it out the mud over their favorite fighters.
And I remember the point to when shit started turning bad for Tio. And I remember when, and because if you go way back, a lot of these channels like Tio. A lot of them did like Tio. And I'm talking about the LDBC. They did not like him the moment he came out and said Wilder didn't take his ass whooping like a man. He said, wow, that's when it started turning. He said, Wilder, and then Chris Colbert said the same thing. Look what they did to Chris Colbert. They turned on him. They turned on anybody who said shit about Spence, Wilder, whatever. But back then, I remember because when he beat Loma, they were all rocking with him. It was when he turned around and said, yo, Wilder, he was one of the ones, and he wasn't the only one too. If you remember, HOD, Jamel Charlo said it. Chris Colbert said it. Teofimo Lopez said it. All these guys said, yo, Wilder take his ass whooping like a man, right? And stop with the excuses. Everybody that did that, they all turned on him, bro. They immediately turned on him, a traitor and this and that. And then, of course, since then, Tio hasn't made things better for himself with the things that he does. But, put it like this. Even with Tio making shit worse, my whole thing is this. Even if you don't like Tio, I understand. I've said this plenty of times. If you don't like Tio for whatever racial issue, right? I understand. But at the same time, you should be down for and support anything that has to do with seeing good fights. Meaning, whether you like a fighter or not, you should not be okay with a fighter being really evasive and making a fight ultra boring like he's scared. If you don't like Tio, you should be for him fighting a fight where somebody could physically beat him the fuck up. Like a Crawford or a Boots, or when he calls out these bigger guys, or when he says, I want to be a lineal champion, y'all should be for it. I feel like a lot of these guys want to see the Devin fight because they know deep in the back of their head, they don't like Tio, which is fine, but they know how Devin's going to fight. He's going to be all extra safe and do the whole fucking running shit. And then let's just say he does lose 116 to 113 in Saudi Arabia because of some fuckery going on. They want to take that opportunity because they don't like Tio. Be like, look, Devin beat his ass or whatever. Because it's like, I mean, come on, bro. Wouldn't you rather Boots beat his ass, though? Wouldn't you rather him be in an actual fight where he gets knocked out? Is this the best you could do? You want to put him in the ring against somebody who you know damn well is not going to be engaging him, bro. He didn't engage Jose Ramirez. He's not going to engage Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is twice as athletic as Jose Ramirez, faster than Jose Ramirez, younger than Jose Ramirez, in his prime. If you think Devin is going to fight differently against Tio, you're crazy. Like I said, him going to Saudi, him asking Canelo to go to Saudi is a red flag for me.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. It make sense. I went in to get, it was very large possibility. Tio gets knocked the fuck out. Meme, bro. It'll be meme. It'll be glorious for the culture. They will never let Tio off the hook with a knockout by Boots, right? Mm-hmm. Would they? Tio on the ground, face down, that's up.
I mean, this is why I was laughing at Greg Hackett when he turned around. Because look, like I said, bro, I know Greg Hackett is cool with Boots and knows Boots, right? And I try to tend to go with people that kind of like know the person or know the fighter. I don't know if I told you this the other week. I said, if I was to go to your job, right? And just for example, if somebody said to you, "Oh, I know Shadow as a friend," right? I know Shadow as a friend. He's a man of his word. He's a good worker or whatever, right? You know, I'm gonna take the word more of a person who actually works there. May not have the best relationship with.
Breaking news, real quick. Breaking
Go ahead,
news.
go ahead.
Amazon has just cut PVC.
We were just talking about that earlier.
Let me read this to you. Amazon's current combat sports slate no longer fits the new direction. Premier Boxing Champion is on its way out once its deal wraps. The focus now is on properties with scale, global pull, and advertiser confidence.
Where is this at? Where you broke?
Do you know my guy Calix Boxing?
Who?
Calix Boxing.
I think
He's always with D Style.
Yeah.
Well, him. He's the one who put it out. He put an article out.
Yo, and you know what, too? I was just talking about when the live just started. You know how Amazon was lying to us, bro? Like, they came out earlier and was like, you know, we're going to get multiple events this year where you guys are going to get free events. We didn't get anything, bro. Not a damn fucking thing. In fact,
No.
y'all gave us two. Y'all gave us Tim Zoo and Backroom. And what was the other one? But you guys said you were gonna have numerous events where it was gonna be free on Amazon Prime. I didn't do none of that shit, bro.
Yo, and it's not because they don't got, listen to this. It's not because Amazon don't got money. Look what Amazon. This is what it says. Amazon refocus on legacy leagues. Amazon broader sports play is surging. A $1 billion per year investment in Thursday night football runs through 2033. Bro, that's 30. That's what? That's $13 billion.
Yeah.
Its new media rights deal with the NBA and WNBA kicks in the next season, part of a sweeping 11-year, $76 billion deal, along with Disney and NBC. Regional simulcast
to 2033.
Yeah, bro. And regional simulcast with the Yankees continue. Now the Yankees have they got an exclusive deal outside of Major League Baseball. Like you wanted to see the Yankees, you got to pay the Yankees directly, and they invested with them. And conversations are underway about joining the Olympic coverage ahead of Los Angeles in 2028. Amazon's current combat sports slate no longer fits the new direction. They're out after this, bro. That's crazy.
Yo, I got to get out of here, bro. I keep forgetting the time. Bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man, let me let you go because you know I'll also keep you here, man. If you got things to do, Papa. Hey, man, good seeing you, bro. I hope everything's going well, man. Tap in, bro. Tap in when you can, bro. Yeah, we know it's when you can, bro. Yeah. You know, I bust your balls about the night owl and brunch, whatever. That's just busting your balls.
I can, bro. But I'll try to get the lives more easier time, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, ya tú sabes, hermanito, man. You be good, man. God bless.
All right, God bless, bro. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Look, at the end of the day, if the fight happens, it happens. I already told you what I think is going to happen. I'm more concerned about whether Canelo will be in Saudi or if this fight does take place, if it will take place in Saudi or not. I would prefer it be on neutral ground, be here in Vegas or be here in America. I just feel like a lot of I don't know, man. I just find it kind of weird that he's really trying to get them fights over in Saudi. I mean, I get it, bro. If you're funding these fights, you want to try to put shit in your country. But it's just weird. Especially the Canelo fight. After saying you wanted it here, now you want it here, now you want it there. Some weird stuff going on in the background. But anyway, bro, this is Ghost. I'll talk to y'all later.